Steve here.
Hey, Matt.
And tonight we're working on the Lexus at the shop once again. Matt has made the long journey from his new store up the street.
It was a trek.
Everyone say congrats to Matt for his new promotion. He's making the big boy money now, and now he can help me buy even more car parts. So starting on that foot, we are going to be upgrading the intercooler on the Lexus to something big, a nice, big, robust intercooler.
This is a change that's been needing to come for a while.
Yeah, we have been seeing 250 plus degree intake air temps, plus this engine at 7,500 RPMs, pulling air through 2.5 inch intercooler piping is kind of like breathing through a straw. So
plus, we want to be able to go up on boost, and without doing this and getting those 250 degree intake temps down, there's no way we can have more boost.
No,
in this motor right
man,
now.
we're gonna start pushing 300 degrees if we start throwing more boost at it.
I mean, we're already right on the verge of knock.
So in addition to the obvious, making more power on the top end, I feel like this is going to help on the bottom end and mid-range also pre-boost. Because, you know, we have a lot of band in the RPM range. We have a lot of RPM band where we're not in boost. And during that time, everything has to be sucked through normal aspiration, through all the intercooler piping and everything. So by opening all that up, I think we're going to actually get some better throttle response.
Sure.
And might be able to build a little more power on the line. So right now what we're doing is I have a 90-degree elbow that I'll show you in just a moment. It was a 4-inch 90 that the reason it's 4 inches is because our 90-millimeter throttle body. The goal here is to get rid of all of our silicone couplers. We want solid, rigid, heavy-duty clamps all the way through, like Vibrant-style clamps. They're not Vibrant, not copyrighted, not trademarked.
Not trademarked.
These
no
are
TM,
strictly eBay heavy-duty intercooler clamps, but we'll be eliminating all silicone couplers. So in doing that, we need to get all the old parts out of the way. We're going to have to pull the compressor housing off, and we will be welding to our Force Performance compressor, turbo compressor. Also, we're going to be welding on our throttle body, which I don't even know where we would get another one of those. So that has to go really well also. But Matt's about to start tearing all the old stuff off and get the compressor wheel off the turbo, and I'm going to show you what I'm working on this 90-degree pipe here. This is just a Spectre 90-degree 4-inch aluminum elbow. These are not welded on yet. These are just slipped on. I'm not going to take them off because they were kind of hard to fit. But we got 3-inch on this side and we got 4-inch on this side. And what I did to accomplish that is I took a big chunk out of this thing. So you'll see this big ugly weld right up the back. So I just took a big cheese slice or a wedge-shaped chunk of metal out of this, the length of that weld, and then I just bent it down to round. And so I still have to weld it, but this is what the finished product's going to look like. So we're going to have our heavy-duty clamp. This is going to have some O-rings on it that slide onto the throttle body, and there's going to be a clamp that goes around that. Then 3-inch down and around to the intercooler. So we're going to be reusing our cheap little blow-off valve that's currently installed on the 2.5-inch pipe. We're just gonna have to cut it off and re-weld it. And we need to find another place to locate our intake air temp sensor bung. I have a spare bung right here to weld onto that. And then a place to put the nitrous nozzle. And that's it. And then we gotta mount up our big intercooler. So Matt, whenever you get a sec, come over here and let's go over the challenges of fitting this intercooler. Go ahead and grab it out of the back seat. Oh, baby, look at that thick boy. Look at that boy! So that's going to be our new intercooler that we are running. As you can see, nah, you can't really see the top of this one, but that is a tiny intercooler. Like what you see is what there is. It doesn't go behind that bumper.
The important thing is this thing's going to be touching the ground where it's currently mounted.
Yeah, so we're going to have to remove that bumper bar there, that big aluminum chunk of bumper. Fitting the intercooler, which is going to be one of Matt's tasks, probably while I'm spending all night on the welding table. And I think what I want to do here is figure out how much of this is in the way and then just chopping it and like keeping this little bit of bumper and this little bit so we still have something in case we drive into a wall to try to protect the car and ourselves.
Yeah, it's going to be real.
But also,
it's going to be real protective in that 1-foot chunk.
Hey, man, it's better than nothing.
That's true.
And also that kind of supports the bumper too. So it'll help the bumper not just flap around in the wind. So much bigger intercooler, big 3-inch inlets and outlets, all going to be heavy duty clamped. And man, this thing will be able to handle all the boost we throw at it after this.
All the boost.
We'll run 80 PSI through this system and we'll never need to upgrade.
Who cares?
Only thing we'll need to upgrade is like
80 psi, new intercooler.
No,
Here we go.
we're just gonna pull off the hose to the wastegate. No, that's a lie. We're not gonna do that.
Well.
But so we got a lot of work to do. Matt's gonna start tearing this all down. Matt, once you get all the intercooler piping and shit out of the way, go ahead and pull that little aluminum bumper there, and start trying to think of a way to mount that big ass friggin' intercooler there, brother. And we will regroup here shortly. So the guy who just told me it's a long story about why his phone doesn't have a case anymore is cutting a chunk off our throttle body right now. Our throttle body that we don't know how to replace, even if we wanted to. All right, dude, so let's just get a little test fitty poo here. So I cut the throttle body, and you'll see I put a little angle on it. See that? See how nice that little angle is? That's gonna really help us get whatever clearance we can between this headlight. And so you can see there, when I hold this all up, it actually fits real nice. And I think that's gonna work just fine. Matthew was worried, but not me. So what I'm sure of is that this is gonna fit. What I'm unsure of is whether the headlight's ever gonna go back in the car again. So, you know, you look fast when you drive around with one headlight. You know, a lot of fast guys do that. So maybe we do that from now on.
Will it make us fast? Will you
Do a little
make
comparison
us
of
fast?
our intercoolers here. Old to new.
I don't even have to hold it up. Nice.
This one's about shoebox size, and that one
It's about double shoebox size.
maybe, yeah, it's at least double. Plus bigger inlet and outlet, of course. Oh yeah, yeah. That's gonna do a lot better for cooling things down, brother.
Mo better.
Just gotta relocate the horns, gotta relocate the headlight, relocate the bumper, and then we're good.
Cheese.
All right, so a little status report here. We got the throttle body installed. I got the flange welded on it for our heavy duty clamp. It went okay. It was kind of tricky because I purposely put it at an angle just to kind of help this 90 right here because it's real tight to the headlight. But so some edges were a little tough, but it went pretty good. Everything's all sealed up there. The turbo, we got the 90 welded onto it. I just finished that, and it turned out real good. See, some of that looks real proper. But it is a good strong weld, nice and sealed all the way around. Didn't have any trouble there, which is exciting because cast aluminum has been something that I've struggled a lot with. But it helps that this part was brand new and this turbo was relatively clean. So Matt is currently working on just fabbing up some quick little brackets to hang our big intercooler. And then it's gonna be a real simple, just A to B job. Start at one pipe, run our pipe down, start at the other, run it down, and a whole bunch of welding. So pretty straightforward stuff there. Matt's working on the brackets. Where's that? So my 90 pipe turned out pretty awesome. I mean, I don't know if I got a before picture. I want to drop a before picture from like when I purchased it in the video here so you can see what it used to look like. It was just a 4-inch all the way through. And so I got that all welded up. That was a pretty big gap because when I was molesting the crap out of this pipe, neither of the ends really were circles anymore. So I had some pretty big gaps to fill. So the welds don't look great there, but they will work. They will work. They are airtight, I believe that. So you can see like the scar from where I cut out that big wedge, and the wedge that I took out of it is right here on the ground. That's just this big chunk that used to be on here. Just cut out that little pie shape, used a vise to just bend it together. Making something round out of using straight edge tools is very difficult, but it worked out okay. So this is gonna have the nitrous nozzle stuck in it. It goes right here, like this. Just kind of slides in like that. Fits nice and tight. The clamp goes around it and holds that in place, and then we'll have another one coming out of there, going through that hole, and so on. Around to the intercooler, back up there, weld on the blow-off valve, and then up to the turbo. So something I'm kind of disappointed about is in order to put one of these fittings, one of these 3-inch seal fittings or heavy-duty fittings on this, we're gonna have to get away from the body a little bit here. So we are gonna have to weld on another piece of tubing onto this 90 to extend it out. We'll probably go ahead. I mean, I don't want it to be super long because it's just gonna be a pain in the ass to do anything with. So we'll probably just put like a straight piece to like right here maybe with our HD flange on it, and then just have another one. Actually, easiest thing I'll do to be like go right in the middle here. So in the middle we'll have the HD clamp, flange, and then we'll have it curved down. Comes out here, and over here the intercooler. I'll probably end up welding pipe onto the intercooler to extend out and kind of go to where it needs to, because I only have 5 clamps. So we've already used, well, we haven't used any. We're gonna use one here, or here. We're gonna have to use one on the intercooler, one on the intercooler, and then one on the bottom of that elbow that goes right here. And then I got a 5th one just in case the bends in the pipe don't work with us and we need to do something funny. But actually it's all going pretty well. So we're just gonna keep going. Once Matt has the intercooler in position, then the easy stuff happens. Then we're just gonna be throwing pipes together. I did not buy effing black pipes this time. I did get raw aluminum pipes, or maybe polished aluminum. So they should weld a lot better than the ones I've done in the past. But should be easy sailing from here, baby. So it is the following week. We did not get even close to finishing this task last week. So what I've done, I've kind of been chipping away at this already, kind of skipped a little bit here. I got the compressor housing back on. I think I showed last week the 90 and the straight all the way to this fitting was done. Well, now I've got the next pipe that goes down. Blow off valves welded on. Pipes completed all the way to the intercooler. Still got to weld the intercooler fitting on. Now what me and Matt have been working on is totally kicking our butts, which is this last piece of pipe. It's been a nightmare. We've had to make these little shims, and we've tried 100 different things to try to get the angle right. I think we finally got it close enough, but I have really been struggling on my welding tonight. And for reasons that I don't understand, I'll have one pipe where everything goes great. I'll run a bead on it and everything will be just fine. And then all of a sudden it'll just start going to hell, and I'll start just getting all this debris like coming up in my puddle. And then it just falls apart so fast, and I cannot figure out what's going wrong, where my contamination's coming from. These are brand new pipes. I'm using the same method to cut all of them. Some are okay, some are not. I did use a file on a few of them, and I'm thinking maybe the file is leaving some shit behind that's really screwing up my metal, but I don't know. I've spent a lot of time tonight welding, and it has not all gone well. I had some pretty good looking welds in the beginning last week. This week has been struggle city, and I'm trying to figure it out. But right now I'm just trying to keep everything real clean, do a real good job of cleaning on my pipes, because I still have a few more things to weld. Even if this last cut is perfect, which I'm praying that it is, I still have a lot more to weld. So Matt's going to pick us up a couple drinks because God, it's so late already. So we're just dying of thirst. So he's going to get us some refreshments, and he'll be back in a minute, and we're just going to keep plugging away. This has just been an absolute nightmare. Okay, Jesus Christ, we're putting it together for the last time. Matt, tell the people about that pipe in your hands.
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
Basically.
Look how many little welds there are.
You can see like how many times we had to just adjust and change and redirect and cry and moan. And
so one thing I did not take into account when I decided to go couplerless
was about how shitty this was.
About how freaking hard it is. I mean, everything has to be perfect.
Oh,
I don't know how I got this side together so good. I think it's because it was during normal work hours. I just clocked out and was banging it out while I was alert and rested. And man, this side went awesome. This side kicked our freaking asses. I did start to kind of tidy up my welds there towards the end. Kind of got in the groove of things. But you can't really tell by looking here.
Dang thing looks pretty good now, brother.
Oh man, just the thing is they have to, oh yeah, that is good. Oh wow, that's real good. They just have to be perfect, and they are. So we got our intake temp sensor welded on right there. We got our blow off valve right there. Everything's routed. Matt's already started kind of chunking away on the bumper to try to make room for this big girl. But yeah, I mean, she's looking pretty good, dude.
I mean, you don't really need these things, whatever those are.
Yeah, we do.
Mini turbos,
street car,
whatever, you know.
But man, everything looks really good. No silicone couplers whatsoever. HD clamp there. One pipe from that joint all the way down to the intercooler. The intercooler, we got an HD clamp here, and it goes all the way up to the bottom of this snout here, this is our 3 to 4 inch adapter. And man, everything fits so good, dude. I'm so stoked. This has been a huge undertaking just because
the horns will go right there.
Oh, that's beautiful, dude. Gorgeous. Wait, no, just put them under these. Use the same bolts.
Yeah, I know, but then it pushes up against the bumper because they
Not
push
if
out
you put it
against these
sideways
clamps.
the way you just had it. Like same spot you just had it, but just turn them. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Look how that works.
Oh, Jesus Christ. This has just been exhausting. So many cuts, so many welds,
so many
much
tears.
anguish. And Matt just was sitting there on the stool while I was like blobbing freaking terrible black welds,
Yeah,
like
dude,
cussing.
it was
and
really hard just sitting there the whole time listening to him get pissed off.
it's just listening to me cry and weep and beg and plea. But we got it done. I'm pretty sure those welds are basically airtight. Probably as much so as our super cheap. So these clamps, these are
luckily the clamps will take up the slack.
so these are eBay. Of course, you know, like all our stuff. The name brand version of those clamps, the HD couplers, like the Vibrant, they're like $150 per clamp. And I'm like, bro, some of you guys are just looking for things to spend money on. Not us. We do the opposite.
Yeah, that way when you sell your car, you can say Vibrant intake pipe clamps.
Yeah, what you may not have noticed is that this car has $1,100 worth of couplers on it. Like, get out of here. We did the same thing using these eBay clamps. They're double sealed. They fit real nice. They feel like decent quality. I think we're not going to have any real big issue out of them, but I'm pretty stoked about how this is going. So we're going to go ahead and do the final assembly with all the O-rings.
They're on, baby.
And then get all the clamps installed, and then we're going to do just a final trim on the bumper. I don't know if we're going to be able to run the grill anymore. We're going to find that out. But I'll show you how she looks when she's done. Next week, we should be competing against other cars.
With two cars.
For money.
With two cars.
With both of the hot rods.
Two cars for money.
I do have a spare transmission for the Z under that white sack right there. Just kind of stuck in the table. And that's going to be another episode in itself. But it's not going to be in the Z by next week. The Z is going to be in the same tranny that it's got now. So we'll be slushing through second a little bit. But
we've won plenty of races like that.
I mean, that car can run a 7.2, 7.3 with that shitty tranny in it. So I think for the class we'll be looking to race next week. That'll be good.